for this warm session. My presentation today is devoted to schema therapy with adolescents mainly. And if we'll have time, I will speak also a little bit about schema coaching with their parents, as it's a very important theme also. If we speak about the adolescence, it's very important to mention that we have to be very age specific here. And of course, the knowledge that we have about the adolescent brain development is very important. So what happens in adolescence, actually? The first process that was described in the wonderful book by Daniel Siegel, whom I'm sure that you all know, and I advise you to read this wonderful book that is called Brainstorm. He speaks a lot about different processes that are happening in the adolescent brain, such as synaptic pruning, so the decrease of neurons and synapses. We can call it use it or lose it. So some not used neural connections are eliminated, while those that are frequently used become stronger. That's why what experience an adolescent has in his life is very important for this process, because it affects his future a lot. Second process is myelination. So myelin, a fatty sheath, insulates neural pathways covering the membranes among interlinked neurons, dramatically speeding up the transmission of electrical signals. So myelination occurs throughout the brain, but significantly in the prefrontal cortex that matures last. And this process continues into the mid-20s, so till 25, adolescent brain is developing. So of course, sometimes when we address the adolescent, we see that he is blocked, there is no reaction, and very important processes are happening. But parents, unfortunately, don't understand what happens to their children, because all of a sudden, this wonderful little boy or little girl become different, become angry, they start to say bad words and so on. And it's very hard for parents to understand what important processes are happening. And of course, it's one of our tasks as schema therapists to give good psychoeducation about prefrontal cortex development, about integration that is happening in the adolescent brain. I won't spend lots of time on it because I guess you all have this information. So I just would like to stress the main processes that we can see in adolescence. So these changes that are happening in the adolescent brain also set up 4 qualities of mind in adolescence, such as novelty seeking, social engagement, and increased emotional intensity and creative exploration. And it's very important that we know about these processes and rely on those while we are planning different interventions. So also there is some specificity of basic needs in adolescence. Thank you, Christoph, for telling us about the basic needs. I will just give some additions what is age specific about the basic needs? So the first need, the need of attachment and of belonging and connection, also here is very important with the peer group. Adolescents need to feel accepted, understood, and valued by a peer group, and friends become incredibly important as a source of support, of validation, and a context for social learning. So they spend lots of time with friends, seek for peer approval. They are always on the phone, chatting with the peers, and this experience is also very important. Okay. The second need is the need of autonomy, competence, and sense of identity. So what is age-specific about this need? Gaining control over life, making decisions, developing responsibility, and establishing oneself as a distinct individual, separate from parental dependence. So this is a very, very important change, and it involves seeking freedom. So they need freedom, they need privacy, they need some energy for decision making, and help. They need help in that and support in that. They need to feel competence, and they need to have this experience of achievement, of feeling capable, of feeling effective, of feeling successful in different areas, to build self-esteem and confidence, also because of this autonomy that they have in their achievements. Next need is self-esteem and self-worth. So they need to feel good about themselves, accept their strengths and weaknesses. That's why we work a lot with resources with adolescents, and it has an inherent value. So, and also they need privacy and personal space. They need to have time alone to develop their independent identity. Next need is the need of healthy limits and consistency, predictability and structure. Limits are very important for adolescents because they live in a very chaotic world with lots of changes, and stable limits reduce anxiety by creating a manageable and less chaotic world. And healthy limits also reduce anxiety. That is, of course, very important, and develop this sense of routine and order, which supports cognitive development and emotional regulation. So because the prefrontal cortex is still forming, so we need in this age such an, let's say, a scaffolding, a temporary scaffolding. So external limits here act as a scaffolding. So they allow adolescents to practice and internalize self-control, building the skills for impulse control and responsible decision-making. And finally, the fifth need is the need of spontaneity and play. And also the need of emotional expression and regulation. So adolescents need to express their intense and fluctuating emotions in healthy ways. So safe spaces, guidance in this process is very important. They need to process the feelings, and sometimes, that they are on emotional swings, and it's very hard and difficultly manageable for them. So they need help and guidance in this process. And also a need of cognitive flexibility, creativity, and play, because play is very important in all the ages of a life of each person, not only in adolescence, but in other ages, of course, but in adolescence, it's tremendously important because it's very hard for adolescents to engage in some dull activities. So we make it interesting and dynamic. So a little bit about specificity of schema therapy with adolescents. First, that we spoke already about is the intensive focus on developmental context and neurobiology. While schemas, they originate in childhood, sometimes in early childhood, and we speak in schema therapy for children and adolescents, we speak about schema predispositions more. But here in adolescence, first thing that we see is the expression of modes. So that is heavily influenced by surging hormones, and the drive for autonomy. So we can see an impulsive mode, and it might be amplified by the natural adolescent drive for novelty and risks taking. And it makes it harder to engage the wise mode, but we try, we work on it a lot. And also some concrete language is needed because abstract thinking is still forming, but we can play, we can make it concrete, and we can make it visible. And I'll show you very soon how we can do it. So the next thing is the centrality of limited reparenting and of therapeutic relationship. For adolescents, the limited reparenting is often crucial and more complex than in adult schema therapy. So we address caregiver deficits directly. So we give at the same time limited reparenting to the child, but because the child is still living under the care of the very caregivers who contributed to their schemas, of course, it is not the only thing we can do here, and limited reparenting must be balanced with appropriate psychoeducation of the parents, and so we need to involve parents. Of course, validation, praise, guidance, unconditional care within the therapeutic process is very important, because therapist becomes an important person, and the therapist belongs to this adult world and can guide and lead the adolescent to an adult world. So, and modeling healthy boundaries is also very, very important, because adolescents are actively testing boundaries. The therapist must be highly skilled at providing warmth within these firm, consistent, and developmentally appropriate limits. So he models healthy structure. A third thing is the mode management usually involves external systems, because very often we can't imagine how the coping modes of a child work in his real life, because he can be very nice in the individual communication, but then you get some information that terrible things are happening at school where his schemas get triggered. And in the therapy office, nothing triggers sometimes nothing triggers his schemas. That's why some therapists get puzzled. How can it be that the same person is so different in different contexts? So we need to explore how the child behaves in different contexts. That's why group schema therapy is very important and highly recommended in this age, so that the therapist can see this adolescent in a different context. So we need to help the adolescent to see how his modes get triggered and how they sabotage their current goals. And family involvement is very important when it is possible. So we work in schema coaching with parents. That goes parallel with work with adolescents. And at the same time, we can try different other formats, such as joint sessions, where when we invite both the child and the parent, for example, to play together. Fourth thing is that imagery rescripting usually focuses on recent traumas, recent conflicts, because in adult imagery rescripting, we usually target very early memories. And in adolescent imagery rescripting frequently focuses on more recent and emotionally salient events that currently are triggering the schemas. And because the main attention is driven to the relations that adolescents are having with their peers. So it's very important to speak about these conflicts, to plan, to provide some immediate relief and cognitive flexibility regarding ongoing issues in their life. So next thing is that cognitive work is mainly focused on identity formation. Adolescence is the primary period of identity consolidation, and schema work is therefore deeply tied to self-concept. So we challenge the global identity beliefs and try to activate his wise mode and help him to build gradually the healthy adult mode, and help the adolescent to make a shift in locus of control. So in schema therapy, we usually start with resource work. It is highly important because adolescents usually come highly problematized, having experiences difficulty at school, and in relationships and in all matters. And what we can give to the child is helping to activate resources. We can do it with resource cards, for example, using different images to reinforce the resources of the adolescent. We can use beads symbolizing different things that support the adolescent with some beautiful bead that he can put in a little box that you can give him as a present in therapy. Also, you can put there a resource bracelet. You can make a bracelet symbolizing each bead so symbolizing each resource with some beautiful bead. And now we have wonderful sets like Pandora bracelets for girls that usually adolescent girls really like to make these kinds of bracelets. For the boys, we can make something as a prayer necklace that he can use in difficult situations at school or in other environments. So here's the resource treasure box that we can give to the adolescent as a present. We can put their bracelet, some nice messages written by the therapist, a piece of fleece that symbolizes connection, a little toy that symbolizes a vulnerable child, some balloons for the future work with, for example, with an angry mode and other modes. So here are some examples of resource treasure boxes, what you can see there. Then we usually use the hands exercise that was introduced by Christoph Loos and his colleagues with some of my additions also. So we write down different good qualities that a child can, adolescent can find in himself. He can define it. And also another hand is used for the resources that other people value in him. And after that, we can make some combinations of fingers for some situations. For example, for exam, what quality can belong to which finger. And we can do so-called mudras, as in the Oriental tradition. We use this combination of fingers movements to reinforce some qualities. We can do it the same here. Safety bubble is the exercise that lots of adolescents really love. And I had one experience with an adolescent group where all the group meetings, they started with the safety bubble and they couldn't miss it. They loved it so much that, adolescents usually don't do something for 2 or 3 times. They want changes, but sometimes it is a great and a very important need so that they can do it and do it often. So work with fleece is very important. Fleece is used for strengthening the connection, for diagnostics of contact with the therapist and with other people, for expressing emotions, for contact with the resource and inner strength, for evoking memories and body sensations, and so on. Also, we can use aroma oils. Some adolescents really like it, especially with aroma stones that the therapist can give as a present to the child, and some instances that can accompany different interventions in schema therapy. So it helps us to meet the vulnerable child, to evoke the happy child, to reinforce the wise and caring modes, to strengthen the connection with the therapist, to enhance the effect of imagery. So to meet, it's very important to meet the wise mode that can be accompanied with the aroma. It is not true that we never speak with children and adolescents about the schemas. We do, and we make case conceptualizations with their schemas. We can compare, for example, schemas with glasses And it is a wonderful glasses metaphor that can be used for different schemas. And we can even create how our schemas can look like glasses, as if they were glasses. With adolescents, we use the decoder glasses, an intervention introduced by Christoph Loos and his colleagues. And also there's a nice continuation of this play. So we can, with decoder glasses, we can see, try to find some hidden messages. But as we don't have now the decoder glasses with you, I guess, so you can, with the decoder glasses, you can see colors differently. Now try just to close your eyes so that you cannot see the orange text, but only black. So you can see only the image of glasses and the word reality. So close it and now try to read what is on the screen only in black. So what schema is it? We don't need you. And when you open your eyes, as you see it with without the decoder glasses, because decoder glasses make these orange words disappear, so you can see differently. We are with you. Don't be afraid. We need you. And it's a different schema that you can see. So you can play with pens of different colors, making some messages disappear and making others appear. With adolescents, we use mode sketch a lot and mode collages, as adolescents love to create something usually. Also, we can make like interactive drawings of modes, such as the present situation and the future situation. Okay, and we work a lot with the mode team in Schema Therapy. So mode team gives an opportunity to make a visual case conceptualization very quickly. It helps to memorize modes because clients remember them for years. It helps to analyze current life situations, staging them with help of a mode team, and set therapy goals in mode terms and analyze therapy results. Then it helps us to rescript some traumatic memories, especially for the clients who have trouble with imagery rescripting. It helps to introduce various helpers in rescripting and integrate them in the mode team. It helps to interview the modes easily, to make mode conferences, learning to be a moderator, a director of the own mode team. And it helps to interject therapist's figure into the healthy adult and good parent figures of the client and make a visual photo flashcard. So together with the mode team, we also use the figurine of the therapist who becomes a part of this mode team. So even if the adolescent doesn't have this good adult figure in his life, he can inherit, let's say, this figurine of the therapist. It can be placed in the same box with all other members of his mode team, and it can be saved. And also children, adolescents usually like to play with artificial intelligence, and I'll try to show what we can do with help of artificial intelligence. So this therapist figure can become alive. Okay, so that's the process of choosing. Then we use a mode team for staging current situation. For example, in this 12-year-old girl mode team. Critic is on the throne, and it shows her situation at school. So we also can make it live. Then we can help the vulnerable child and give him some symbols of support and care. Here you see the therapist gives him a little glass heart. And also, a therapist can help the wise mode of the client, which is the blonde girl, to get rid of the critic. So the critic runs away. And then the goal is achieved. The wise mode is on the throne, and other modes greet the wise mode. Hope you like it. So we can do a mode conference with adolescents. So here, this beast is presenting something to other modes, and other modes are listening. Also, for online work, we can use the paper cups mode team. When you use paper cups and give a child, send a child as a present some nice stickers that can be used for the modes, and you can also illustrate the matryoshka principle, the idea when some modes are more powerful than the others. Also, you can do mode teams with plasticine, and you can also make some modes live. Here's the detached self-soother. And the loving and caring mode. Also, you can do paper mode teams for online work. It's the most easy way how to do it online. So an adolescent can draw his or her mode team, different modes, and you can use it and play with it in this format. Also, you can introduce some artificial idea to do it with help of artificial intelligence. And here you can see the mode team that was done by a 12-year-old girl. So she found, with help of artificial intelligence, she could make various images of her modes. Also, in work with adolescents, we usually use mode masks. We do role plays with living puppets and hand puppets. Okay, we use the in-house, a wonderful case, interactive case conceptualization that was developed by Christoph Loos and his colleagues, that is multifunctional and is working fantastically, is helping us to conceptualize different things in schema therapy with children and adolescents. Some examples. And also, I'll just say a few words about the pictorial case conceptualization that I came with recently, using the same model that we use practically everywhere in schema therapy for children and adolescents. This metaphor of a house. And it goes very well together with the idea of the inner house. So we have in the ground floor, we can find some symbols for the basic needs, both met and unmet. On the first floor, we find symbols for positive schemas and maladaptive schemas. On the second floor, we find some symbols for healthy modes, child modes, critic modes, and coping modes. So we make this little small mode team here. And on the attic is devoted to goals, where the adolescent can find some symbols for his therapy goals and some resources, some icons, some symbols that can represent resources. Also, in practically each house, there is a basement, and we can use it as a basement of secrets. So sometimes there are traumatic experiences that contributed to development of the maladaptive schemas, and very often adolescents have idea of it, but they are not ready yet to share it with someone. Even with a therapist, sometimes they need time to share it. So we can just ask the adolescent to think of some symbol, not telling the story, but just to put the symbol of these traumatic memories that later on can be used in therapy. Also here we can write down schema triggers. And also on each house, we can find so you can see the super sensor antenna that symbolizes that a vulnerable mode is very important. So you can see the symbol of the loving and caring mode that is a version of healthy, of a good parent in adult schema therapy. So we can write down, what can I do to nurture the vulnerable child mode? This little sun, it is devoted to the happy child mode. So we can write down, what can I do to feel happy? And also, what can I do to vent the anger of the angry mode? And the wise mode is a person who repairs this house if it needs some repair. So how can I strengthen my wise mode and build the future healthy adult mode? So here you can see some examples how it can look. So for some in some bits we can see the icons, some images that adolescents really like to use, and somewhere we can write it. So we can make a very good case conceptualization just on one piece of paper or in one PPTSD file, so that it makes it very, very useful to conceptualize it this way. So just a few more words. We play a lot with adolescents. A lot of games are devoted to feelings and emotions, to understanding and labeling emotions. We do some emotional quizzes, finding emotions on photographs, acting out different emotions, and so on and so on and so on. Do a lot of anger venting, as they have a lot of very much anger to vent. teach adolescents how to respond to bullying messages and maintain calmness and react in problematic situations in a wise manner. And of course, SAND work is very good for adolescents. So we're working with SAND in different interventions. For example, for creating a safe place, for defining different modes, so it can be a continuation of the work with the mode team in a SAND tray. We can use it to rescript traumatic memories, and so on. I just here try to be quicker. Christoph, how much time do I have, or I ran out of time?
Actually, yeah, you ran out of time. Try to.
I ran out.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, next time I will tell you about parents. Just one thing I will show you as a conclusion. Sorry for being so long. It was not prepared. Okay. Just a few words about artificial intelligence, as that is the thing that adolescents really, really love to do. So we use it to activate the resourceful memories, to revive the photographs of resourceful interactions with loved ones, to meet with the vulnerable child, to activate good parent mode, to create images of modes, to revive the mode team, to make interactions between the modes, and in different other ways. So for conclusion, it's my granny and me, and how this very old photograph was made alive. Okay, here we need to stop. Definitely.